So after 6 years with Sony, I have officially switched to Fujifilm. What's going on, guys? My name's Zak Kincaid. I'm a filmmaker and video production company owner here in New York City, and I use Sony cameras from the foundation of my business. I built everything that I pretty much have on Sony cameras. So making the switch away to Fujifilm was not an easy decision. And there's definitely a lot of trade-offs between the two systems where one is better than the other and vice versa. But for me, it really came down to three main aspects. Number one is that although full frame is better in most situations, APS-C is better for me. Most of the work I do with my production company involves luxury real estate, which means I'm often traveling to client sites either in the city or out of state. And when I'm traveling, I want the smallest kit possible. And although Sony bodies like my old a7S III or the FX3 are roughly the same size as this XH2S, when it comes to the lenses, it is far and away uncomparable. Because those lenses are larger and more expensive, it forced me to buy larger and more expensive accessories, such as a gimbal with a stronger motor that could hold everything. And even with third-party lenses like from Sigma and Tamron, the size of this lens versus those full-frame counterparts is just, it's not even a competition. And that brings me to my second point, which is the Fuji colors. And no, I'm not talking about all the baked-in film presets like Eterna, even though I find it very nice to have. Those aren't really what won me over. What won me over is Flog 2C. The color accuracy and dynamic range in Flog 2C is pretty close to what ARRI Log 4 has. And the reason they developed this is because Fujifilm came out with their new medium format Eterna 55 camera. That Flog 2C profile that was developed for that camera was also added to the XH2S in a firmware update. When you combine that with the fact that the XH2S versus the Sonys can record in much higher bit rates internally and can even record in ProRes, you get much more color fidelity in your edit. Don't get me wrong, I, along with other filmmakers, have made beautiful work with Sony gear, but there's just something about when you film with a Sony camera that it just feels really clinical. It feels like Sony. And I found that whenever I brought that into Resolve to color grade, I was having to work the image quite a bit to get something I want. Versus with Flog 2C and those higher bit rates internally, I feel like the color depth out of this camera is just far and away better than what most prosumer Sony cameras offer. That brings me to my third thing. It is the codecs. Being able to record in 6K OpenGate on such a small camera is really a game changer for me. And I hate using that phrase, but just let me explain. I think OpenGate as a feature, while overhyped, should be included in every camera. For what I do, OpenGate is just hands down the best way to film a scene. Being able to record an OpenGate on a real estate shoot where I can just hit my leading lines and then I can reframe for vertical, horizontal, and square in post and deliver that to my client, it cuts my time on site in half, which allows me to get more client shoots in and provide better results to my clients in that shorter amount of time. Now, yes, I do wish I could film OpenGate in 60 frames per second for slow motion, but I found that filming in 30 frames per second and then using something like DaVinci Resolve's AI optical flow, it still gives me that smooth slow motion I need. And yes, if I filmed on Sony, I wouldn't have to do this workaround, but to me, this workaround is worth it simply to be able to film in OpenGate. Along with codecs, I'm able to record ProRes internally. And although I don't do this on a ton of shoots, whenever I'm sitting down to shoot an interview or a more important shot, I can film in ProRes to this 1TB CF Express card without the need for any additional recorders on top. And if I find myself needing ProRes RAW or Blackmagic RAW, which I rarely do, it is still nice that I have that option if I want to, but granted, the Sonys do have that option as well. So those are the main three things, but now I'm gonna fire off a couple of quick honorable mentions. First, the price. This is Fuji's flagship camera, an X mount, and it sells at $2,500, which is the entry level to Sony. And when it comes to lenses, they're on average about half the cost as their full frame counterparts. Second, I can still get a full frame look by adapting PL and EF mount glass to this camera with a speed booster. And lastly, using a Fujifilm camera is just a more fun experience to me. Sony cameras are great. There's a reason so many people use them, and I built my entire livelihood on them. They're just very clinically perfect cameras, and if that's what you want, great. But in my opinion, I just felt like I was getting the same repeatable, sterile image over and over, which in a lot of cases is exactly what you want. But for me, I love the little quirks that come with a Fujifilm image. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this one, guys. If you've enjoyed this video, leave it a like and comment down below. I wanna know what camera system you guys are using and if you're contemplating making the switch to another brand. Lastly, don't forget to subscribe if you wanna see more videos like this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.